Shangri-La Frontier. Episode 20 continues as Sunraku and Araba move forward through the strange inverted city. Sunraku is shocked to see that the entire city is upside down, not just in structure, but also in how the air functions, allowing them to breathe normally. Araba further explains that even the ocean life has transformed. Living fish have become undead fishmen, while dead ones have turned into mermaids. The very laws of this world have been altered due to Qatar Net of the Abyss's power, which can even reverse death itself. Sunraku wonders if this means that even if they manage to defeat Qatar Net, it might not actually die. As they ascend a tall building, Sunraku declares that once he gathers everyone, he will focus on escaping this place. Araba warns him that escaping is not so simple. They must entertain Qatar Net. When Sunraku asks what he means, Araba explains that Qatar Net does not bring people here to simply kill them. It enjoys watching them struggle for its own amusement. As they talk, Sunraku notices multiple towers and inquires about them. Araba explains that each tower houses blockers, and one particular tower is known to nullify all magic. Impressed by Araba's knowledge of the city, Sunraku asks if he has been trapped here for a long time. Araba clarifies that this is his first time here, but he knows of a merman who once escaped, his grandfather, who left a scar on Qatar Net's left eye before suddenly finding himself outside the city. As they continue, Sunraku suddenly shouts loudly, hoping for a response. Araba questions his intentions, but Sunraku ignores him and listens carefully. Soon they hear Imul's voice, prompting Sunraku and Araba to rush in her direction. Imul, running toward them, carries a weakened stud on her shoulders. She warns them that she is not being pursued by mere fishmen, but something much worse. Suddenly, a massive monster crashes through a nearby wall, leaving Sunraku and Araba momentarily stunned before they quickly turn and flee. It is then revealed that Emul had used a skill called Random Encounter as a last resort, summoning a monster far stronger than herself. This creature is at level 125 and relentlessly chases them. As they take a sharp right turn, both the fishmen and the monster continue pursuing them. The monster also possesses a laser attack, making their escape even more perilous. Sunraku quickly instructs Araba to take Imul and Stud to their previous resting spot while he distracts the monster. Araba is shocked at Sunraku's willingness to face the beast alone, but seeing Imul and Stud's worsening condition, he has no choice but to comply. However, Imul suddenly reverts to her original form, causing her to collapse and fall behind. The monster moves to strike her, but suddenly bamboo spears impale its mouth, halting its attack. More zombie fishmen rush toward Imul, but from above, Rust arrives alongside Saika. Rust swiftly slashes down the fishmen, while the bamboo attack was the work of Siger Zero. Araba quickly grabs Imul and Stud and begins fleeing once more. As they escape, Rust nearly attacks Araba, mistaking him for an enemy, but Sunraku intervenes just in time, explaining that Araba is an ally. Meanwhile, the monster breaks free from the bamboo restraints and resumes its pursuit. Sunraku tells the others to go ahead while he handles the creature himself. He soon realizes that the monster is glitching, which makes him smile as an idea forms in his mind. The battle begins, with Sunraku dodging its attacks while striking at opportune moments. As he fights, he analyzes its weaknesses. First, because it floats in the air. It requires time and space to gain momentum, something difficult to achieve within this cluttered city. This means he can use his superior agility to land consistent hits. Second, the monster continues glitching, even after the zombie fishmen have left. This indicates that their poison is still affecting it. Finally, Sunraku recalls his father's love for fishing, which taught him plenty about sea creatures. Using this knowledge, he targets the monster's weak points, causing significant damage. Declaring that it's time to end the fight, he launches a final attack, driving his dagger into the creature's nose, ultimately killing it. Meanwhile, Akane and Moto, hearing the battle from a distance, rush toward the scene. Along the way, they meet each other and decide to go together. Back at the fight, Sunraku surveys the destruction he has caused just as Akane and Moto arrive. Seeing the wreckage, Moto asks what exactly Sunraku was fighting. Sunraku explains the details of the battle, and Akane suggests waiting at this location. to regroup with the others. Sunraku informs them that aside from Rei, everyone has already gathered at the base. Suddenly, the surrounding debris begins to rise into the air, returning to their original positions as if time itself is reversing. Akane and Moto watch in shock as the ruined buildings reconstruct themselves before their eyes. They ask Sunraku if he knows what's happening, and he speculates that it must be an ability of QuarTNet, further confirming that it is toying with them. He recalls Araba's words about QuarTNet's love for entertainment. The scene shifts as the group finally reunites at their base. Rust, still fascinated with robots, requests to see Sunraku's mecha. Sunraku obliges and summons Suzaku, but due to a lack of power, the robot remains motionless. Even in this inactive state, Rust is thrilled just to see it. After a while, Sunraku recalls Suzaku, stating that they need to discuss their strategy. They only have 7 days to complete this X-unique scenario, meaning they must carefully plan their logins and actions. Sunraku mentions that he will be unavailable for the next 2 days due to real-life commitments. The team then organizes their schedule, ensuring that the base will always have someone present. Sunraku declares that on the 7th day, they will launch their final attack against QuarTNet and settle the score. The scene then transitions to the real world, where several players from America arrive in Japan to participate in the game event. Among them, a female player asks if anyone knows where Kei Umoni is staying. Another player questions whether she intends to personally challenge him. She is then revealed to be the #1 ranked player from the US. The episode ends on this intriguing note, hinting at future developments both in and out of the game.